Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Kadesch, owner and broker in charge of Go Gated Realty, Hilton Head Island and Bluffton, South Carolina. I'd like to talk to you today about buyer's agency. And what is buyer's agency? How is it different from seller's agency? How is the buyer's agent paid? And how does the fiduciary relationship with your buyer's agent differ than the financial relationship? I'd like to talk to you also about how it works for you to have a buyer's agent in dealing with new construction, developers and builders. And then finally, I'd like to talk to you about why you should call on me, Richard Kadesch, instead of another agent, as your buyer's agent here on Hilton Head Island and Bluffton, South Carolina. Well, so how is buyer's agency different than seller's agency? Well, every transaction has two sides. You have the seller's side and you have the buyer's side. And there's a commission in the price of every listed property, and that commission is shared by the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. It's already in the price of the property, so the first thing you need to know is it doesn't cost you anything more to have a buyer's agent working for you. And that's the way it works too, is that the buyer's agent does work for you. Buyer's agent does not work for the seller. The seller's agent's goal is to get the best deal for the seller. They want to get the highest price, the best terms, whatever is in the advantage of the seller, whatever the seller would like to have. The buyer's agent, on the other hand, wants to get the best deal for you, the buyer. The best price for you, the best terms, and to protect you from things that you may not know at the time that you actually sign a contract on the house, and that gets into the area of inspection. Now, the process is different, or it should be, because the contracts should not really be the same for a buyer's agent as it is for a seller's agent, but generally in this area my observation is that they are the same, and that a lot of people who are buyer's agents don't really treat the buyers that much differently than the seller. But the actual agreement should be different. Let me give you a specific example, and that has to do with the inspection criteria of good working order. In my opinion, and that's the prevailing standard in this area, the house will be in good working order. I have a hard time defining it myself. I hope to have had my last argument about it, but when your inspector goes in, and of course I always recommend that every home or condominium that we have that inspected by a certified inspector, and I can help you with that, of course. They're going to tell you more about the age and condition of the house than you knew when you walked through. And a lot of homes that even when they look great, well, the inspectors always find things, but the most common thing would be the age and condition. So a heat pump, as an example, which in this semi-tropical area lasts about 14 years. Well, if it's old, it might be rusty and yet still run, but your inspector is now telling you that it's going to have to be replaced very soon. Well, this is new information and needs to be taken into account in your decision whether to go forward on purchasing the house. Your buyer's agent should protect you for that circumstance, in addition to which good working order doesn't cover all the things in the house that you want to buy, because it just covers the mechanical things, heating and air, plumbing, electrical, appliances, things like that. It doesn't cover normal wear and tear. It doesn't cover the roof, the siding, the exterior, the foundation, the crawl space, the insulation. These are all things that are very important in the purchase of a house. So your buyer's agent should draw the contract to protect you during the inspection process for inspecting the entire home and not just a limited inspection. Now, how is the buyer's agent paid? Well, again, the commission is already in the price, so you don't pay anything more. And there is a difference now between the fiduciary relationship of your buyer's agent and the financial relationship. So a question that I'm sometimes asked is, well, if the commission is in that price, it's really being paid by the seller, how is it that I can represent a buyer? Well, they are different. The fiduciary relationship, as I have already said, from the seller's agent is to the seller. The fiduciary relationship of the buyer's agent is to you, the buyer. The commission is the same. So it's split 50-50 And the price is the same too, whether you go directly to the seller or to the seller's agent or have a buyer's agent working for you. So it really makes it, in my opinion, a no-brainer to have a buyer's agent working for you. Now this is true also when working with contractors, developers, and new construction. A lot of folks are on the internet these days. They shop and compare different, and everybody likes a new home, I think. Well, how do you deal with a production builder? What do you need me for, as an example, as your agent? Well, it's actually very common for a buyer to shop and compare resales to new construction. So it's a process. I know very few people that walk right into a developer's office and say, where do I sign? Let me see 2 or 3 of your models and let's go build one. Usually that process begins with correspondence before they arrive down here on Hilton Head Island or in Bluffton. It's a comparison process of looking to see, well, what if you buy a resale, as an example, in Sun City versus a new home? What are the different pros and cons, or any other community? Should you build a custom home? Should you build a production home? Well, I can help you with all of that. I am a former licensed South Carolina home builder, and once again, the price to you is the same, whether you walk directly into the developer's office on your own and meet with builder after builder after builder, trying to make your own comparisons, going out with another agent for resales. The price to you is always going to be the same. Developers do not reduce their price for buyers who don't have an agent. As a matter of fact, they expect you to have an agent, and the commission that I earn as a buyer's agent is already in the price of every new home. And if I didn't say so already, that commission is only paid at closing if you buy and if you close. So once again, it's a good idea to have a buyer's agent on your side, ladies and gentlemen. That works not just with resales, but with new homes and production builders as well. I enjoy that process. Now, why should you call on me versus someone else? Well, part of that reason would be because I have 39 years of Hilton Head and Bluffton real estate experience, and still getting better at it. Always learning from my buyers and the sellers, from the process in general. I enjoy my work very much. One of the comments I hear from people quite a lot is that the process is overwhelming. So even with all the empowerment and information that's out there on the internet, it still is hard to shop and compare on your own, even in person when you come down. It always helps to have a good guide, a good advisor, someone to help you, and you never know when that help or advice can be key to your getting the home that you want to get, getting the terms that you want, protecting you in many ways. I can help you with all of that. Of course, I do in the standard ways from A to Z, referring you to an inspector, to an attorney, to engineers, to decorators, contractors, whatever you need. I'm here for you, as is my team. So I know there's a lot of information out there on the internet about homes and properties. There's very little about agents. Everyone looks like an all-star on the internet, so many sales and so forth. But I would just say that please keep me in mind, top of mind, when it's time for you to choose your agent. I recommend you bring me in early in the process rather than later. It'll save you time, and I think it'll make your searching make it easier, and for the process to be more pleasurable. And I think that you'll have more confidence as you go along having a buyer's agent on your side. Hopefully you'll think of me in that process. Again, my name is Richard Kadesch. It's Kadesch. I'm the owner and broker in charge of Go Gated Realty, as in gated communities. And I'm the gated community specialist, ladies and gentlemen, and both gated community specialist and Go Gated Realty are federally registered trademarks. My company is a member of Multiple Listing Service, and again, I have 39 years of local real estate experience to help you in your process, in your search, and in finding the right property for you. So thank you for watching this video, an introduction to buyer's agency and to my own service. I think we've talked about how It's important and recommended to have a buyer's agent and how that differs from seller's agency. How that works with new homes construction. I didn't touch so much on custom home building, but please let me know if you're interested in that. I love custom homes. I love new construction in general. We've talked about how having a buyer's agent works pretty much the same way with new home construction. And then finally, why you should consider my service as your buyer's agent here on Hilton Head Island or in Bluffton, South Carolina. Thank you for watching this video. Please call or email at any time. My cell number is 843-684-2933, and my email rich@gogated.com. That's GOGATED.com, and my website is gogated.com. Thank you.